She stood in that ring, microphone in hand, eyes locked on the camera like she was staring straight through the screen and into your soul. No music. No pyro. Just silence, and a warning that made the entire WWE Universe hold their breath. What Stephanie Vaquer said after that ambush on Raw wasn't just a promo. It was a declaration of war. And if Liv Morgan thought she had seen the last of consequences for what she did, she just made the biggest mistake of her career. Welcome back to Wrestling Impact, the channel where we break down every power play, every rivalry, and every jaw-dropping moment in professional wrestling. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now because today we are diving deep into one of the hottest, most explosive stories developing in WWE right now. The collision course between Stephanie Vaquer and Liv Morgan has just reached a boiling point, and brother, the water is scalding. Let's go back to where this all started because context is everything in wrestling, and if you want to understand why that warning sent chills down the spines of everyone watching Raw, you need to understand just who Stephanie Vaquer is, what she represents, and why Liv Morgan picking this particular fight might just be the worst decision of her championship reign. Stephanie Vaquer arrived in WWE with something that is genuinely rare in this business. She didn't just come with hype. She didn't just come with accolades, though trust me, she had plenty of those. She came with presence. That intangible, undeniable, magnetic electricity that you simply cannot manufacture. You either have it or you don't. And from the moment she stepped foot on that stage, every single person in that arena, fan, wrestler, producer, it didn't matter, every single one of them felt it. There was a sense that you were watching someone who was not here to participate. She was here to dominate. Her journey through professional wrestling before arriving on the grandest stage had already been nothing short of legendary. The passion, the technical mastery, the raw emotion she brings to every single match, it tells a story even before she opens her mouth. She wrestles like someone who understands that every opportunity might be her last, and that urgency, that fire, it translates. It translates through the camera, through the screen, through your television set, and it grabs you by the collar and demands your attention. And then there's Liv Morgan. Now listen, Liv Morgan is not to be underestimated. Don't let anyone in these comments tell you she's just a pretty face who got lucky. Liv Morgan is a calculated, ruthless, cunning competitor who has learned something that most wrestlers spend their entire careers never figuring out: perception is reality. She understands how to make people feel things, how to make you love her, how to make you hate her, and most dangerously how to make you underestimate her. She has weaponized her image, her relationships, and her ring time into a championship run that defied expectations and silenced critics. But here's where things get dangerous for Liv. Because when you play games with someone who isn't playing games, you lose. Now let's talk about the ambush. Raw. The moment that has the entire wrestling world buzzing, and frankly, the moment that may have just lit a fuse on the most explosive women's rivalry we've seen in a long time. The night had been building beautifully. Stephanie Vaquer was coming off a performance that reminded everyone exactly why she belongs at the top of this industry. She had cut through her competition with surgical precision, and there was a growing, undeniable momentum behind her. The crowd felt it. The locker room felt it. And Liv Morgan, shrewd, calculating Liv Morgan, she felt it too. Which is exactly why she did what she did. The ambush was not random. That's what people need to understand. This was not a crime of passion or an act of impulse. This was premeditated. This was a chess move executed with cold, deliberate precision. Liv Morgan saw the wave building, and instead of preparing to face it head-on, she decided to crash it before it could reach shore. And for a moment, just a moment, it looked like it might have worked. Stephanie Vaquer was left down on that mat, the arena buzzing with a mixture of shock and outrage, fans on their feet not in celebration but in disbelief. Liv Morgan stood over her, that signature smirk carved across her face, soaking in the moment like she had just won something, like she had already won. And that smirk right there, that is going to haunt her. Because when the cameras found Stephanie Vaquer later, and this is the part that gave me chills, this is the part that I genuinely believe will be talked about for a long time, she wasn't crying. She wasn't frantic. She wasn't calling for backup or demanding justice or cutting some desperate promo about how unfair everything is. She was calm. Almost eerily calm. And she looked directly into that camera with those eyes, you know, the ones, because once you see them, you don't forget them. And she spoke. She spoke about respect. About what happens when someone confuses your patience for weakness. About what happens when someone mistakes your grace for fear. She didn't scream. She didn't threaten in some vague, Hollywood action movie kind of way. She was specific. She was personal. And she delivered every single word with the quiet, absolute certainty of someone who has already seen the future and is simply waiting for everyone else to catch up. She said something along the lines of, "Liv, you had your moment. Enjoy it. Because what's coming for you isn't just a match. It's a reckoning." The arena went absolutely silent. That is a different kind of promo, wrestling fans. That is not the kind of thing you write in a meeting room with producers and executives. That is the kind of thing that comes from somewhere deep and real inside a person. That is someone who is truly, genuinely, righteously motivated. And motivated for the right reasons, not for a title shot, not for a contract, not for social media numbers. Motivated by principle, by honor, by the kind of pride that you simply cannot manufacture. Now let's talk about what this rivalry means for the women's division, because I think the implications here go far beyond just these two women. The WWE Women's Division right now is at a genuinely fascinating crossroads. You have established names who have built their careers over years of hard work. You have rising talent that is hungry and desperate to prove themselves. And you have this ongoing conversation in the arenas, on social media, in every wrestling fan's living room about who the next era truly belongs to. Who is going to define this chapter? And this rivalry? This specific conflict between Stephanie Vaquer and Liv Morgan? It is the perfect vehicle for that conversation, because on one side you have Liv Morgan representing a certain kind of ambition. Win at any cost. Use every advantage. Make the moment by any means necessary. And on the other side you have Stephanie Vaquer representing something that fans are genuinely starving for: authentic, undeniable, earned excellence. The kind that doesn't need shortcuts. That tension between cunning and character, between strategy and soul, that is the foundation of every great wrestling story ever told. And we are living through one right now. Think about the matches these two are going to have. Think about the storytelling possibilities. Stephanie Vaquer is the kind of performer who can carry a match on pure emotional weight alone. Every reversal, every near fall, every moment where she reaches deep and finds something extra, the crowd goes with her because they believe in her. They have invested in her. And Liv Morgan, whatever you think about her character, is legitimately dangerous in that ring. She knows how to find the moment. She knows how to capitalize on the smallest opportunity. She has beaten people she had no business beating because she finds a way. So when these two finally collide, and let me tell you, it is when, not if, the match is going to be electric. Every single person in that arena is going to be on the edge of their seat, because either outcome carries enormous weight. If Vaquer wins, it's the triumph of heart and honor over manipulation. If somehow Morgan finds a way to survive, it raises the stakes even higher for the rematch. Either way, the audience wins. Either way, we're talking about it for weeks. But here's what I keep coming back to. Here's the thing that I think gets lost in all the hype and the highlights and the clip packages. That warning that Stephanie Vaquer delivered? It wasn't just for Liv Morgan. It was for everyone watching. It was a statement of identity. A declaration that she is here, she is real, she is not going anywhere, and she absolutely refuses to be treated like a stepping stone. There's something deeply compelling about watching someone stand in the aftermath of an ambush when they would have every right to be emotional, every right to be reactive, every right to chase the moment, and instead choose to be methodical, to be patient, to trust the process. That takes an incredible amount of mental and emotional discipline, and it tells you everything you need to know about who Stephanie Vaquer is as a competitor. Liv Morgan attacked the body, but she may have just awakened something in the mind. And in professional wrestling, as in most things in life, the most dangerous person in the room is not the one who is the most emotional. The most dangerous person is the one who has made peace with the fact that this is going to be hard, this is going to take time, and who is absolutely, unshakably committed to the outcome. Stephanie Vaquer is that person right now. Now I want to hear from you, because this is Wrestling Impact and this community is one of the most passionate, knowledgeable wrestling audiences on this platform. Down in the comments right now, who do you think comes out on top of this rivalry? Is Liv Morgan's strategic ruthlessness enough to keep Vaquer at bay? Or is this the beginning of a new era, the moment where Stephanie Vaquer steps fully into the spotlight she was always destined for? Drop your thoughts below. Debate each other. That's what this community is for. We are a wrestling family here, and every single one of your opinions matters. And if you haven't subscribed to Wrestling Impact yet, what are you doing? Seriously, every single week we bring you the most passionate, in-depth, entertaining wrestling content on this platform. We cover every rivalry, every match, every moment that matters. Hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, because trust me, as this Vaquer and Morgan story continues to develop, you are not going to want to miss a single episode of our coverage. This rivalry is just getting started. The warning has been sent. The message has been received. And somewhere backstage, Liv Morgan is watching that footage on a monitor, and for just a moment, just one flicker of a moment before that smirk returns, she knows. Deep down, the way that only the truly competitive know things about their opponents, she knows that she has poked something extraordinary. The question is whether she's ready for what comes next. And so are we. See you next time on Wrestling Impact.